Okay, he's excited. I'm not.
We're developing, through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean?
Yeah, the WEF World Economic Forum met once again at Davos on May the 22nd to the 26th. If you ever wonder who they are, what's happening at Davos, particularly this is about, let's just put it this way, rich, affluent, influential men in the world, men and women, of course, who come together trying to solve some of our world problems. And part of their agenda and policies and discussion is to figure out the best way to influence the world, politician, also even religion, and the businesses of our world to make decisions in the light of what they propose will fit best for our society. I was particularly interested about some of the topics that they were discussing. The president of Alibaba, his name is J. Michael Evans. He kind of gave us an idea of some of the things that were being discussed in that meeting. And I'm going to share this with you because it is somewhat shocking, to say the least. So this is going to give you an idea of what some of these men are thinking. I thought that our freedom and our privacies has been infringed upon since 2001, the 9/11, and ever since that we had the Patriot Act and we had NSA and many other government installment systems that came into place to supposedly solve the problem. But now they're here to stay, and our freedom and our privacies have never been the same ever since. But here we are today, and we think things were worse. Well, it's much worse today. You know what they say, right? You give them an inch, they take a mile. So I'm gonna let you check out this video, and then I'll come back to give you a final analysis of what I think of what's going on here.
We're developing, through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? That's, where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
Yeah, that was very interesting. So what makes them think that people like you and I were going to be okay with these new implementations to supposedly solve some of the crises going on in our world? This carbon footprint endeavor, which came motivated behind the fear-mongering concept of climate change, which says, okay, our climate, the world is changing, our climate is acting up. We need to solve this problem by monitoring the way you do business, which means next time you go to the gas station, the car you drive, the things you do, where you shop, in this, in that. Their goal is to somewhat have control over everything you do, to supposedly monitor you so that they can potentially save the planet from you abusing the world and supposedly the resources of the world, to the point which is making the climate warmer, which is why they say some of the issues we see and some of the natural disasters we see are the results of that. Now, I found something to be very interesting. In my research, I've discovered that over 80% of carbon footprint or carbon usage is done by the military, not by the average person. I wonder if they will take this to the point where they will kind of like monitor how we go about waging war in places that we have no business waging wars at. Anyway, to top it off, what I think again is problematic with this is the misconception that humanity is the problem for the issues going on in our climate. I can certainly agree. Mankind do have a role to play when it comes to the way we manage the resources, the way we care for the earth, and the way we clean our ocean and so on. I'm all for that. But to make it seem that humanity are the only problems to this issue, you have a great misconception. The reason I can say that is because the issue we see in the world is much more than men. There is sin. There are other abusiveness going on as well. There is the government. There are many other factors that need to be considered, and to make it seem that it is me and you that are the problems, and they need to somewhat monitor you and I, is very telling. And I think coming from Michael Phelps was a little bit interesting, since he is the president of Alibaba. And Alibaba have a really strong connection with China. And China also how is known as a social credit score. And I'm just kind of like comparing and contrasting, and I'm making some links here. I'm realizing, I'm wondering if he got his talking points from the Chinese government. And they're monitoring their citizens, right? They have a social credit score, and this can allow what you can buy and sell and this and that. Part of that discussion as well is they are talking about a central banking as well, a way to use cryptocurrency or some things that is more digital, which will give them even more control of the way we buy and sell. I think we're living in a very interesting time. I mean, what is your perspective on some of these things? And I'm not sure if I am as excited as he is in that video. I felt very strange and somewhat violated as a person to think that you're going to be watching everything I do like I'm a little child so that you can save the planet. By the way, you're not the savior of the planet. There's only one savior. His name is Jesus Christ, and I don't think he even talks that way. Anyway, that's my perspective on that. Until next time, have a good one. And as always, look unto Jesus. Live by faith. Have a good one. Bye.